It was a crisp autumn morning in the quaint village of Rosewood, where the air carried a hint of pine and the leaves danced in vibrant hues of amber and gold. Amelia Bennett, a young woman with an insatiable curiosity and a heart full of dreams, lived a life steeped in the simplicity and the charm of the countryside. Her days were filled with the comforting routine of caring for her small bookstore and the occasional ventures into the wooded paths that flanked her home. The morning began like any other, with Amelia putting on her favorite sweater, its warmth a gentle embrace against the cool air, and pouring herself a steaming cup of tea. The aroma of chamomile wafted through the cozy space, mingling with the scent of old books. As she settled into her favorite corner of the bookstore, preparing to immerse herself in a world of words, a curious knock echoed through the quiet space. Startled, she set her book aside and made her way to the door. Standing on the doorstep was Mr. Thompson, the village postman, with his usual amiable smile and a package in hand. "Good morning, Miss Bennett," he greeted, tipping his hat. "I have something rather unusual for you today." Amelia raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Unusual, you say?" Mr. Thompson chuckled, handing over a small, weathered parcel. "Indeed, it appears to be a letter, but it's dated from the year 1923. Amelia's eyes widened in surprise. "A letter from a century ago?" The postman nodded, his expression a mix of nostalgia and curiosity. "I found it while sorting through some old mail at the office. Thought it might interest you, given your love for history." With a mixture of curiosity and excitement, Amelia took the parcel, her fingers brushing against the faded paper. She thanked Mr. Thompson, promising to let him know what she discovered. As she returned to her seat, she carefully unwrapped the parcel, revealing a delicate envelope sealed with a faded wax emblem. The emblem bore an intricate design, hinting at a time when letters were crafted with care and romance. The envelope bore an elegant script that read, "To my dearest Eleanor." Amelia's heart skipped a beat. Her great-grandmother's name was Eleanor, and the coincidence was too intriguing to ignore. With utmost care, she broke the wax seal, feeling a sense of reverence as she unfolded the letter. Her fingers trembled slightly, not just with anticipation, but with a connection to the past that she had never felt before. The paper was yellowed with age, the ink faded but still legible. As she began to read, Amelia found herself transported to another time, to a world of eloquent prose and heartfelt emotion. "My dearest Eleanor, as I pen these words, my heart aches with the longing to be near you. Each day spent apart only deepens my affection and admiration for you, my love. The thought of you fills my every moment with joy and anticipation. I write to you now with a fervent hope that my letter finds its way into your hands. I wish to declare with all sincerity that my love for you is eternal, transcending the boundaries of time and space. Though circumstances have kept us apart, I believe that our souls are destined to be intertwined, forever bound by the invisible threads of love. Until that day when we are reunited, know that you are cherished beyond measure. Yours always, Edward." As Amelia finished reading, a rush of emotion enveloped her. The words resonated deeply within her, as if Edward's sentiments were meant for her alone. Yet, she knew that this letter was intended for her great-grandmother Eleanor. A sense of connection to her past, to a love story that unfolded a century ago, filled her with wonder. Driven by a desire to uncover the story behind the letter, Amelia dedicated her days to researching her family history. She delved into old family albums and journals, hoping to find any mention of Edward. Her great-grandmother had passed many years ago, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in mystery. The search was not just about Edward. It was about understanding the woman who had come before her, a woman whose heart had once been intertwined with someone who wrote letters of such depth. As the days turned into weeks, Amelia's search yielded little information. Her great-grandmother's life remained an enigma, with only fragmented pieces of her story available. The village's archives provided scant details, and conversations with older residents often ended with wistful looks and tales of their own youth, but little about Eleanor and Edward. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Amelia felt a strong connection to Eleanor, as if their paths were somehow intertwined. One afternoon, while rummaging through the attic, Amelia stumbled upon an old wooden chest. Its surface was covered in a fine layer of dust, and the hinges creaked as she opened it. Inside, she discovered a collection of letters, worn and fragile, tied together with a faded ribbon. The sight made her heart race with excitement and anticipation. As she carefully untied the bow, her breath caught in her throat. The letters were addressed to Eleanor, penned by Edward himself. It was a treasure trove of love letters, each one filled with declarations of love and longing. Amelia spent hours poring over the letters, captivated by the romance that blossomed between Edward and Eleanor. Their words painted a vivid picture of a love that defied time, a bond that transcended the physical world. Each letter revealed more about their relationship, their dreams, and the obstacles they faced. Amelia felt as though she was peering into the very soul of her great-grandmother, discovering the woman behind the name. Amelia's fascination with Edward and Eleanor's love story deepened with each letter she read. She felt an inexplicable connection to their journey, as if she were living a parallel life. The letters spoke of dreams and aspirations, of a love that overcame obstacles and endured through adversity. They described Edward's passion as a writer, his aspirations to publish a novel that would immortalize their love. One letter in particular caught her attention. In it, Edward wrote of a small cottage by the sea, a place where he and Eleanor dreamed of one day living together. The description was so vivid. Amelia could almost feel the salty breeze and hear the waves crashing against the shore. Inspired by the letter, Amelia decided to visit the seaside town mentioned in Edward's words. She hoped to find the cottage, to stand in the place where Edward and Eleanor's dreams took root. It was a journey driven by curiosity and a longing to connect with the past, a quest not just for answers, but for a sense of belonging. The train ride to the coast was a journey through time itself. As the landscape shifted from rolling hills to the vast expanse of the ocean, Amelia felt a sense of anticipation building within her. The rhythmic clacking of the train wheels against the tracks seemed to echo her racing mind. She arrived in the charming town of Seabrook, where the air was filled with the scent of salt water and the cries of seagulls. With the letter as her guide, she wandered through the cobblestone streets, following the path Edward had described. Each step felt like a step in the past, as if she were walking in the footsteps of her great-grandmother. Her heart raced with excitement as she finally stood before a quaint cottage nestled by the sea. Its weathered facade and overgrown garden spoke of years gone by, yet it retained an undeniable charm. Amelia stepped inside, her footsteps echoing in the empty rooms. She could almost hear the laughter and whispers of love that once filled the space. The interior was bathed in soft golden light, and the sound of waves crashing against the shore provided a soothing soundtrack to her exploration. As she explored the cottage, taking in the faded wallpaper and the creaking floorboards, she discovered a small journal tucked away in a drawer. It belonged to Eleanor, chronicling her life and her love for Edward. The journal revealed the depth of Eleanor's emotions, her hopes, and dreams for a future with Edward. It was a testament to their love, a story of resilience and devotion that transcended time. In its pages, Amelia found not only the history of her family, but also the essence of love's enduring power. As Amelia read Eleanor's journal, she felt a profound connection to her great-grandmother. The love that blossomed between Edward and Eleanor seemed to echo through the generations, touching her heart in ways she could never have imagined. The struggles they faced, the sacrifices they made, and the dreams they shared resonated with Amelia's own experiences and aspirations. In the pages of the journal, Amelia found a letter written by Eleanor but never sent. It was addressed to Edward, expressing her unwavering love and her belief that they would one day be reunited, even if only in spirit. The words resonated deeply with Amelia, as if Eleanor was speaking directly to her. The letter was filled with longing and hope, a reflection of a love that refused to fade, even across the years. With a newfound sense of purpose, Amelia returned to Rosewood, carrying with her the legacy of a love that defied time. She shared the letters and journal with her family, weaving together the fragments of their history into a tapestry of love and resilience. Her family listened in rapt attention as she recounted the story of Edward and Eleanor, a story that was now a part of their collective memory. As the years passed, Amelia continued to cherish the letters and journal, sharing the story of Edward and Eleanor with future generations. Their love became a symbol of hope and inspiration, a reminder that true love knows no bounds. Amelia often held family gatherings where she recounted the tale, encouraging her relatives to appreciate the power of love and the importance of preserving family history. In the quiet moments, as she sat by the window watching the leaves fall, Amelia knew that Edward and Eleanor's love lived on in her heart, a timeless bond that would never fade. Inspired by their love story, she began writing her own, a novel based on the letters she had found. It became her passion, a way to honor the love that had been lost to time, but now was resurrected through her words. Amelia's book became a local sensation, resonating with the hearts of many who read it. People from far and wide visited Rosewood, intrigued by the story that had unfolded within the pages. They sought out Amelia at her bookstore, eager to hear more about the couple whose love has survived the decades. She often hosted book signings and readings, sharing not only her novel, but also the original letters and journal entries that had inspired her. The community embraced the story, and it sparked conversations about love, loss, and the importance of connection. As Amelia spoke about Edward and Eleanor, she felt their presence guiding her, reminding her that love is a force that transcends time and space. As Amelia delved deeper into her writing, she began to explore her own feelings about love and relationships. She realized how often people took love for granted, allowing daily life to overshadow the connections that truly mattered. Inspired by her great-grandparents, she sought to nurture her own relationships, reaching out to friends and family, and forging deeper connections with those around her. Amelia's journey of reflection led her to understand that love comes in many forms, not just romantic love, but also familial love, friendship, and even love for oneself. She began to practice gratitude, regularly taking time to appreciate the people in her life and the moments they shared. This newfound perspective enriched her life and motivated her to spread love and kindness throughout the village. Years later, as Amelia prepared for a family reunion, she decided to create a special display dedicated to Edward and Eleanor. She gathered the letters, the journal, and her own book, carefully arranging them on a table adorned with flowers and candles. The reunion was a celebration of family, love, and legacy, and she wanted to honor the couple who had unknowingly set her on this path. As family members arrived, she shared the story of Edward and Eleanor, weaving it into the fabric of their gathering. Laughter filled the air as relatives recounted their own love stories, inspired by the tale Amelia had brought to life. The atmosphere was vibrant, a testament to the love that had been shared across generations. At that moment, Amelia felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She realized that Edward and Eleanor's love had not only connected her to the past, but had also brought her family closer together. The bonds of love strengthened each time the story was told. In the years that followed, Amelia continued to share the story of Edward and Eleanor, ensuring that the love would never be forgotten. The legacy of their love became a guiding light for her family, inspiring them to cherish their own relationships and to express their feelings openly. As the seasons changed and the years passed, the memory of the letter delivered 100 years late became a cherished family tale, a reminder of the enduring power of love. Amelia often reflected on her journey, the discovery of the letter, the exploration of her family history, and the way it had transformed her life. In the quiet moments, as she sat by the window watching the leaves fall, she knew that Edward and Eleanor's love lived on in her heart, a timeless bond that would never fade. Their story, once a faint whisper from the past, had become a resounding anthem of love, a legacy that would be told for generations to come. Through the letter, the journal, and the connections forged, Amelia had not only reclaimed her family's history, but had also created a narrative of her own, one that celebrated the beauty of love in all its forms. And so, as the sun set over Rosewood, casting a golden glow across the landscape, Amelia raised her cup of tea in a silent toast to Eleanor and Edward, grateful for the love that had shaped her life and the lives of those who came after. Their love story was no longer just a relic of the past. It was a living, breathing testament to the power of love, a force that would continue to inspire and connect hearts across time.